So we all have heard about the risk of the stock market. We've all heard those horror stories about the people losing a bunch of money while investing in 2008, whenever. We've heard the stories. But now, let me ask you this. What is the risk of not investing? I think this is one point that we forget all the time, because we know that in the stock market, we can lose money, right? If we invest $100, there's no guarantee that it's going to grow or even stay the same. It could lose value. But we can forget that, let's say we just save in a savings account, right? We think it's safe and everything like that. Well, with inflation, let 2-3% a year, $100 you put in a savings account, next year, a year from now, it's only going to be worth about 97% of what it is today. So with a savings account that is really low interest rate, right, that doesn't pay you a lot, you're guaranteed to lose. Right? In the stock market, you can lose, it's possible, but with a savings account or a checking account, you're guaranteed to lose, right? And now you can't lose that much, it's just inflation every year, but you will lose. So make sure you take this into account, and especially over a retirement or over a career, if you choose to save only in a checking or savings account and you don't invest, that can be terrible for your returns over that amount of time. Because like I said, there are risks with the stock market, but there are rewards. Because we know over the last, let's say, 100 years, 70 years, 50 years, the stock market has averaged about 10% per year. Now, some years are terrible. Some years are incredible. Over that course of that time, it averaged about 10%. So if you could look at that and just trust, like, okay, if I could just ride out the rocky years, like there's going to be some down years, right? But to hedge against inflation. So if you don't invest, you're guaranteed to lose. If you invest for a long period of time, you're almost guaranteed to win. Now, there's no guarantees, right? It could keep going down technically, but odds are, based on the numbers, based on statistics, it's going to go up over time. So you have to trust that. And you have to trust that it is going to be better over a long period of time over a savings account or a checking account. Now, when most people get into trouble is when they are not financially or emotionally prepared to ride out the rocky times. Because like I said, in the stock market, it is going to go down. There are going to be some bad years. And if you're not financially ready or emotionally ready to ride those out, let's say if you're investing money that you actually need to live on the next year or something like that, it'll be incredibly hard to ride that out. And you'll be taking your money out at the worst possible time. Because for the average investor, this is what happens, right? When it's going up and everyone's excited about the stock market, they jump in. And then it starts going down. So they buy when it's high, right? And it starts going down and people get scared and they get out when it's low. And they keep doing that. They buy when it's expensive, sell when it's cheap. And that's just a losing proposition. They keep doing it until either they run out of money or they just get too scared to invest anymore. And that's why the average investor does not do well. You have to know that you just have to ride it out. And over time, the stock market will go up. Based on statistics or anything else, it will go up. You have to trust in that and really play the long game. And I know that investing can be scary, but remember, inflation is scary as well. And in retirement, 30 years, let's say if you're on a pension from federal employee benefits or whatever it is, or 401k or an annuity, if inflation really gets going, the value of that monthly income or your social security income, it'll drop dramatically. Inflation is scary as well. So you have to have a way to beat inflation. And often the stock market is the best option. So keep this in mind as you're planning for your retirement, for anything in life. Keep that in mind that while investing has risks, not investing also has risks as well. So again, if you have any questions, comments, put in the comments below, and I'll see you next week.